Welcome to the presentation of Arma 3. You may ask what the game will be like. We are not just trying to make another Arma. This time we are trying to make it really interesting for greater audience, to significantly improve the engine and to deliver really interesting gameplay. So we'll work on the physical simulation, we'll improve animations. There will be a 3D mission editor, which will be certainly appreciated by our community. This time we have the largest environment presented in the series so far. Well, enough of it, let's jump into the game. And by jumping, I mean really jumping. Yeah, you can notice the volumetric clouds through which canopy I've just gone. Yeah, we are slowly approaching the surface. You can notice the high-resolution satellite imagery. We've actually sent our artists to take the photos. We've purchased the high-resolution images of the ground. We are using real-life terrain for the game. Well, infantry combat stays the core of the simulation. You will be playing a lot for the infantryman, and for this I'm going to demonstrate a bit of customizable gear and regular animation. In the final game, it will be possible to modify your gear, but now let's see what we can do with the long-range optics, which can be unmounted. There we go. But I can mount a collimator on it. The animations are not completed yet for this, but it's already working game-wise. I have now switched to another shooter, and I'm now going to demonstrate a little bit of ragdoll. There he goes, off the roof. Another guy. Yeah, well, I missed him. But let's see the ragdoll from the close. I'll switch to grenades, and by the way, check the detail of the vegetation. It's nice. Too bad it's war going on there. There we go. AI will stay as cunning as it used to be in our previous projects, but are still working on plenty of things. Yeah, welcome to Mediterranean. The power plant is where it is in real life, and it's modeled based on the photos from the actual location. I am getting shot at, so let's leave this part of the demonstration and move on to the vehicles. We have added some very nice things, like adding the detail to the interior. Enough for a racing game, right? There's the bad guy. I'm actually a bad guy too. But let's now see what we have here. We have set up a little playground for testing the physics. Boom. No sounds for the collisions yet, and it's not tweaked yet. The vehicles have actually working suspensions, and they have weight. I had quite some difficulty pushing another vehicle, but with this 30-ton beast, it should be fairly easy. There we go, there we go. This always happens when I'm showing this for the camera, you know. Yeah, but even these heavier crates can be like pushed and destroyed quite easily. So much for physics. We expect to have the physics for basically every vehicle in the game, and to fine-tune, to tweak it. There will be slightly less vehicles than usual, but still like several dozens. And all of them will be fine-tuned. Each will have their own characteristics. Let's see a little bit more about environment. We're in the Mediterranean. As I said, it's the largest island, so we'll take a helicopter ride over it. We're in the farmland now. You can notice the Comanche helicopter. It's this light attack chopper. Its development has been cancelled in the real life, but in our universe, in the Armaverse, you may notice the sound gets muffled when I'm flying as a pilot. Every building in the village is enterable. You can spot a solar plant nearby, and there's another city. There's some like 50 cities scattered around the island, and they're fairly big. They can be compared to the cities from our previous projects. Even a small village has some like 100 houses. It's pretty impressive. Yeah, there are the clouds. They are volumetric. They are 3D, so you can fly through them. Let's see some action. You can see the spent rockets actually leave the empty space in rocket port. We really like these details, but it doesn't mean we don't concentrate on the game as well. It's just this adds a lot to the final presentation. We visited the ground, we visited the air. Now let's see how we cope with the sea. Naturally, we have boats. We may have some hovercrafts or stuff like that. But Slivnos is an island, and we want player to try basically every vehicle in game throughout the campaign, make naval combat nice, believable, and ships controllable is a part of our mission. Let's start the engine and bump into something, because we got physics for the boats as well. You can see the wake. And really nice cliffs. Boom. All the floating objects with the simulation. There we go. You can run over them. The boat we are looking at is fictional, but it was designed to look, wow, it was designed to look as authentic as possible. There we go. The guy survived, unbelievable. You may also ask, why do we have these black guys there in the wetsuits? It's pretty easy. In Arma 3, you can actually go underwater. We are working with swimmer delivery vehicles, but so far you will see only combat divers floating around. I'm one of those. So, be it some special operation, some infiltration thing, or if you just want to loot some wreck, you're ready to make it. It's basically a new dimension, and this dimension is actually full of life. We can see fishes. Come on, fishy. Yeah, there we go. So far we have just one species, but we are focusing to make the environment very lively. So even underground there will be like sheep, wild goats, rabbits. It just adds a lot, you know. We are not just a mindless shooter. We are slow-paced games. At some point, we expect player to just stop, take a look at the environment, enjoy it, and you know, if he would spot some animal, it can add to the feeling, to the atmosphere. Our main focus is on the playable content, on the campaign. So all these new possibilities, the spectrum of vehicles, all the engine improvements introduced in the campaign, in the missions, they will be available in the editor, and we'll make sure to have the multiplayer as interesting as possible. What might be interesting for our modding community, it will be as easy to mod Arma 3 as it was the case with Arma 2, Arrowhead, or Arma 1 Flashpoint. It remains open and moddable and modifiable. And well, now let's see some battle. In this battle, there are some like 100 artificial intelligence units fighting. This stuff is not fine-tuned, and it's getting too loud maybe. Nice vegetation, but perhaps not much time for that. At some point in the campaign, even player would have a chance to control whole groups, command subordinates, and stage a battle like this, for example using artillery support, using some aircraft, UAVs, even minefields. We'll have anti-personnel mines. Hope I'll not step on one. So that's how the battle in the final game may look like. In the end, let me share some more information about the campaign, because it's going to be the main game mode, and I hope we'll achieve a little revolution internally. It will be single player only this time. This simplifies the matters a lot, so we are able to deliver a really strong story with many twists, essentially designed to put player into any kind of a situation, like the vehicles you have seen, the weapons. It all should play its role in the campaign. So at some point the main character will be sneaking, diving, shooting, flying. Naturally he will also have to talk to someone to decide. We are also careful about delivering the interesting gameplay to both lone wolf and commander types of players. And the learning curve should not be as steep as in previous titles. We pay a lot of attention to really teach players something before he goes into real action, and even the campaign will feature that. So we will not have just tutorials, we'll also have this kind of in-game tuition. And in the end, the player will be able to ultimately fight the way he wants. He'll be playing the story which is set in the near future, where the Eastern armies are pushing NATO away from Europe. In this grim situation, Captain Scott Miller, the main character of the game, will be controlled by the player. Is sent with the group of specialists to the island of Limnos. At some point, he'll find himself facing this environment, very large island, realm of its own, you know, with its own inhabitants, population, with its own rules, and he will have to find out the solutions. We'll be just giving player objectives and clues, and we'll give him a playground, the possibilities to really explore the land and to find his own style of gameplay and to really enjoy what we've prepared in the order and in the way he really wants. And we really hope that the people will have fun playing Arma 3. Well, thanks for your attention. Don't forget to check out our social channels and arma3.com.